Good morning, it's 5 a.m. Rise and shine, you early cryptopians. It is time to discuss, that was a heavy breath, Ethereum today. And what happens if the SEC decides to drop Ethereum as a security? They're like, you know what, screw these Ethereum lovers. Ethereum ERC20 tokens and any related project will get screwed. My name is Mike or Kubera. Another heavy breath. Let's get into today's video and go outside. Ethereum's gonna hit $0 after $5,000. What a world we live in. Let's chat about that today. That got your attention. That got my attention too. I watched a video titled like that, and let's get into it. So Ethereum's big scare, apart from the fact that some people are saying it's beginning to get outdated, I mean, it's going through its updates. It is one of the largest players and most recognizable names in the entire community. In my personal opinion, it has more movement for the future than Bitcoin because of all the projects that are on it, the continued developer support. It is becoming slowly more and more known in certain areas of the world, so it's not like Bitcoin's the only one anymore. And I just don't see Ripple being a true competitor to Ethereum anytime soon, or EOS or NEO or any of that. Maybe in the future one day, who knows? And some people are saying, well, this is going to be the next Ethereum, that's going to be the next Ethereum. I don't think there's going to be the next Ethereum. I think it's stupid to copy off of it. I think it's great to gather ideas from a already successful project. I mean, even Vitalik Buterin himself said he was inspired by Bitcoin and he just saw some things wrong with Bitcoin. That's why he was like, screw it, I'll make Ethereum. And now a lot of haters are saying, well, apart from the fact that it's becoming to get outdated, which hopefully sharding fixes a lot of things, and there's Casper and a lot of interesting updates coming out. And apart from that, even if there wasn't any updates, just the whole crypto community, it's all about emotions. And as soon as there's some FOMO happening, I mean, as the market moves back in, if it is going to go bullish, or even if it's going to go back down, it's a nice little trap. And then later it is going to have a bull market again towards the end of the year, maybe next year or whatever. Eventually it'll happen, and eventually people will be flooding the markets again. And one of the big players out there is Ethereum. Not only are thousands of projects based on it, but it has a lot of pairings out there. Nothing else can compare, not Ripple, not USD Tether, nothing. So Ethereum is the second largest pairing compared to Bitcoin. For a lot of traders out there, they're super confused. They like USD Tether, but then again, it could completely be a $2 or $3 billion scam. They like Tether because they're able to hold it and it's a little bit more stable. Now, people who don't trust Tether like Ethereum because even though it doesn't have as many pairings as Bitcoin, usually it's a little bit more stable and there is more movement that you're able to do in between applications and exchanges. But Bitcoin is more, I mean, it's everywhere. There's not an exchange without Bitcoin. That's that. But when Bitcoin crashes, so does everything else. I mean, technically Ethereum as well, although there's been times where Ethereum's been able to outperform Bitcoin. Regardless, all of this taking into account the SEC and any other large governments of the world that decide they don't like Ethereum, decide to block as many proposals, they decide to block Ethereum and its projects, the ERC20 tokens, of which there's thousands of which hundreds are successful. And we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars here being affected, which I don't think is going to happen because hundreds of billions of dollars, so at least there's one billionaire out there or one person who knows the right connections where he's going to make a couple phone calls, and before you know it, hey, lobbyists start stomping on Congress doors. It's going to stop. I think that's the point we're at, where if SEC, if the courts, if Congress, if any senator comes out and says anything bad about Ethereum, okay, that's fine, but those people are going to be put on a list and they're going to be like, so there's going to be some phone calls coming their way pretty soon because there's some powerful people involved with Ethereum. They don't want to see their investment lost. I just don't think it's going to happen at this point. Maybe some other cryptos out there. But if Ethereum is ruled a security and all ERC20 tokens as well, even though there's technically a security/utility divide. I mean, if you look at the SEC's Howey test, a lot of these ICOs are saying they're utilities, and there's a huge market for utility tokens now. Everybody wants to supply utility. They don't really want investments. Great, but if Ethereum itself gets ruled as a security, then that affects everything else that's based on its blockchain, because it's literally running on it. It's a copy. It's its mother, right? I just, again, I'm a little skeptical, but if the SEC was to rule something in the favor of its competitors or completely against cryptocurrencies, sure, there could be a short-term decrease, I guess, but there were some videos out there that were obviously biased, and marketing professionals were in charge of their titles because they said it's going to reach $0. There's a lot of people out there that would probably go crazy and jump out of buildings if that happened. But I just don't see that occurring for any of the large cryptocurrencies, because at this point they're too big to fail. There's too many powerful people involved with them. There's billions and billions of dollars. You can't remove it overnight. You can't remove it over a couple of weeks, over a couple of months. This would take years, maybe a year entirely, to remove all of these projects. And for those of you guys who are saying, oh, you're crazy, years? Do you know how fast things move in crypto? Yes, but we're talking about one of the largest names in crypto. At one point, it was number 2. It constantly keeps moving back between 3 and number 2. But anyways, it's like the number 2 name in crypto. Some people were thinking it was going to be the number 1 name in crypto last year. Maybe there could be a flippening still, who knows? If Ethereum would go down to 0, almost all the other cryptocurrencies would just, they'd be on fire, they'd be destroyed. We're not talking about hundreds of billions of dollars, we're talking about trillions of dollars of opportunity costs, profit potentials. This is bigger than it already seems. There's a lot of companies and organizations, banks, governments that are interested in this. Even if America rules something against it, or China decides, let's ban ICOs, great, the market gets affected for like a minute and then goes back forward, doesn't really care. There's a lot of individuals think that, oh, one ruling, one government, one bank is going to destroy this. That's the whole point about decentralization. It can't. And in fact, it's going to inspire further growth, because other people are going to be like, well, wait a minute. Why is it continually growing? Why are more and more people coming out against it? But it's not the people that I really want to support. It's the ones that are sketchy. Because come to think of it, the dollar has been falling. The stock markets haven't been doing so well. A lot of these other projects supported by the governments and the banks are, there's some strange connections I'm making here. So the more and more people start thinking about this situation, the more they realize, well, everything's going to be probably fine. But if you're afraid, don't invest. That's it. A lot of people are calling crypto a scam, but that's the thing. Like, you don't need to invest. Nobody's forcing you with a gun. Hey, buy Ethereum. First of all, you probably even wouldn't know how to purchase Ethereum, even though it's not that bad. You just call a website, and there we go. Did I say call a website? Oh my God, I didn't get enough sleep. Call a website, 1990s. Okay, I'm heading to the airport right now. I'm going to get dressed. One super important thing you should know, actually not important at all. It is a fun fact I learned the other day for all the future millionaires and billionaires out there watching this video. Yes, you. Crypto enthusiast. Well, are you interested in having Wi-Fi connection on your yacht? I mean, what kind of planet are we living on? On your battleship or mega super jumbo yacht? Well, good news for you, because you're going to be screwed. Like, you need that Bitcoin and Ethereum profits. The record so far of that which we know of is a Arab man with a very, very large big boat. That probably costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and he doesn't care at all, and he's probably north of 10 billion net worth in his oil barrels. He's paying nearly $10 million annually for an internet connection. That is how expensive Wi-Fi is out on the open seas out there. He's estimated to be spending $750,000 every single month on a 128 megabit connection. My connection here in Poland is supposed to be 600. It really registers at 400. Quite upsetting. I paid $20 for that. He pays $750,000. Now, granted, he needs to install giant equipment. So it's not just the fees for every month. He has to install giant equipment worth 5 or 6 figures on his big boat on top. And if a hurricane comes, well, the whole boat explodes. But the reason it's so expensive is usually it's private companies, there's monopolies out there, and there's that whole thing, you need your own private satellite to be sending that internet connection in the middle of the Atlantic. That's the fun fact of the day. So even if you make $100 million thanks to EOS Ethereum or Bitcoin, you still got to get more. Enjoy. My name is Michael Cabrera. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy this video, great. Please leave a like, subscribe, share, comment, encourage optimization for YouTube, because we got to care about that cash money. And if you don't, get out of here. My name is Michael Cabrera. If you enjoy that video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Sure. See you guys tomorrow. The police.